old, so you don't really know.
What's your take on all these sequels and prequels and things of this nature, and they have these shows and these movies where they're like, oh, it's going to be a spin-off, and it's going to be, for example, like the Connors, which is the spin-off of Roseanne, which it's the same show.
Yeah.
You just call it something different.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like in some cases when you have a movie like The Joker, which is going to be awesome, right? I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're going to have El Camino, which is going to be great.
Awesome.
By the way, speaking of Joker, real quick, you know who's going to be butthurt out of all this?
Who?
Jack Nicholson wins an Oscar. Heath Ledger wins an Oscar. Joaquin Phoenix is going to be considered or win an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Leto, they go, he fucking sucks. Oh, man.
Well, to his credit, he did win one for Dallas Buyers Club.
But
so,
what I'm talking about,
he's already won one. He's in the club.
I'm just saying, though, but he's going, wait a minute. How everyone else here, and not only are you not going to win or get nominated, they're like, you suck. Like, you literally ruined it. Like, man. And I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be crying.
I know.
About.
They didn't even put him in the sequel to Suicide Squad.
Really?
He's not even in it. Like they didn't even try to recast the character.
They just didn't put it in there.
Like the Joker's not. My understanding is the Joker's not in it.
I never even saw the first one.
Like I saw the first one. It was okay.
I never heard anything good about it, so I was just like,
Well, I think I saw it on like Netflix or something like that, or on TV. It was on TV, I think. And I made the wife watch it because Suicide Squad's on. I said, well, I want to see what it's all about. I usually see stuff like a year afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah,
it takes a while, unless it's something I absolutely really want to see, like the new Terminator movie that's coming out.
We'll see that one.
I don't know that I'll get to it, but I really want to see it.
I'll see that. Well, I always look at there's certain
Joker,
movies.
I want to see.
There's certain movies you got to see like in a movie theater. So like when Ford versus Ferrari comes out in November about the story of Carroll Shelby and Ferrari.
And that's a fresh take on something.
Yeah.
That's not a spin-off.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'll see the hell out of that one.
Yeah. We're talking about spin-offs or sequels or prequels. Look at the Connors. They kill off Roseanne, right? And they rename it. They call it the Connors.
It was like that show Blackish. Now there's one called Mix-ish. So it's kind of like.
That looks funny. It's
like
Zach Morris.
Yeah, it's like. The way I look at it, I mean, like, I think we grew up in an era where there were so many movies that should have had sequels, but they just, whether it be production budget or it got put in turnaround or one studio, you would always hear the rumors about, but nothing ever came about it, right? Mm-hmm. There was like a million movies where there should have been a redo of it, right, or a sequel, and this never happened. And so we grew up where it was like, if there was going to be a sequel, it had to be worth it, right? I mean, you look at take E.T., right? It was a huge movie, right?
I heard about that for years.
Yeah, years, right? But if it was purely about money, so if that movie were made today, there would have been it would have been E.T. 17 by now, and it would have been like E.T. Redux, and it would have been E.T. would have been an African American female, alien, from a different planet. It's there would have been 5 remakes because that's what would have made money. So I think I don't know. I look at being a Gen Xer. I look at it, it's sacred to do a sequel, and so it screams to me that they're out of ideas.
If there was any movie, to put you on the spot
here,
if there was any movie that you would like to see a sequel to, or another sequel to, is there anything offhand that you can think of? You're like, man, I would like to see, and not that the story's not needs to be continued, but is there anything selfishly, you're like, man, I really like that movie, I just wish there was more, or I wish there was just something else I could see. Anything you could think of?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, as far as what needed one, or because I even want to delineate movies that I really liked, because I want to delineate going the idea of it would be great, but would it be any good? The one actually I would like to see is a Major League a sequel, but it's where they're at now, because they kind of did it, but it was not doing. I'm talking Wesley Snipes getting back in there, get Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, get those guys back in there.
There was a rumor they were going to do that.
I heard about that. Yeah,
back when Charlie Sheen, he got out of 2.5 Men, and he went on his little what do you even call it? His tour, the Charlie Sheen tour.
Yeah,
I don't know what he even.
I heard about it. There's even things of him
But even now, that's been several years. Now he's kind of aged out. There's no way you would believe that he's still pitching. back then when this was like
I would say
7
it'd
years
be more
ago.
like they'd be managers, or they would be like.
Well, what I'm saying though is when this Charlie Sheen thing happened, and he they released him from 2.5 Men. I don't know how many years ago it's been now, and he kind of went borderline crazy for a minute with Tiger Blood and Adonis DNA and with the goddesses. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
right? Yeah. But they were talking about another major league movie. It was going to be, Wild Thing Vaughn basically in his final season, kind of like a Nolan Ryan type deal, where he's the old man, but he's still kind of got the fastball, and sometimes he can still get you.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, who's going to happen? And it never happened. And I was like, oh.
If I had to pick one, and I'm going to sound like a dork when I say this, so, I wish they would have done it. So, Gettysburg is one of my favorite military movies, right? So it was supposed to be 3 of them. So it was of Gods and Generals, which was kind of like the ramp up to the Civil War, which then it kind of left off where Gettysburg was, which came out first. So there's supposed to be a 3rd one called The Last Full Measure. And it was supposed to be basically taking it through Appomattox Courthouse and just, and they never ever went back and did it. And it was just, they even had it like when on that movie came out, it even says that this is a part of the trilogy. They never went back and did it. And that's like one of those where it's like, how do you not complete that? And it was one of the most well done.
It's historical.
One of the most well done Civil War movies. And just once again, budgeting and the stars they wanted in there, they all blew up. Had like Jeff Daniels and Robert Duvall and Martin Sheen, and so you had all these guys that were Matthew Broderick. So it was like you get these guys where they all blow up and you can't afford them all of a sudden.
Right, absolutely.
So I think there's a lot of ones out there where I think if it could be well done, you'd like it, but just not now, man. I guess the Terminator one's interesting only in the fact that James Cameron's like, yeah, okay. So just imagine like none of the other ones were made past Terminator 2, and this is how the movie should have been made.
Ignore everything else.
Yeah, so that's the part of me digs it. Like he had the balls to kind of go without like trashing the other people, but you can't get more like obvious than. Yeah, just imagine none of the other movies were made, and this is where it's at. And JC always makes good movies. Avatar 2 is going to be fucking amazing. So those are ones where I look at going, it makes sense. Like I want to see what the other parts of the Avatar world look like. I heard the Matrix. They're coming out with a 4th Matrix.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
Yeah, so that is one where I'm eager to see where that story goes. Right.
I'll tell you. Speaking of sequels, I'll tell you a franchise that shouldn't have had so many sequels. We're talking about which ones should have some. One that I wish I could erase is like the last 2 Die Hard movies.
Oh yeah, they were fucking awful.
Those, I'll tell you what, with the budget they had and all the technology and all the special effects.
Die Hard or Die Another Day.
Like Die Hard 4.0 or whatever the hell it was called or Die Hard.
Yeah, it was like Die Hard 6.9.
They had Die Hard 2.
Yeah, the last one,
Die Hard with a Vengeance, was a great one.
The last good one was the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
that was the last good one.
That was number 3.
Yeah,
and they should have stopped right there.
Yeah,
and then they came out with 2 more after that, which of course I saw, and it was not good.
2 is still my favorite.
Dude.
Yeah.
Die Hard is so fantastic because the guy does not have superhuman strength. No superpowers. He's not part of an elite.
But that's where it got absurd, though, for the other ones. It's almost like, are you a fucking superhero now?
Well, but that's why they should have stopped after the first 3, because by the 4th one, I think it was the 4th one, maybe it was the 5th one, I don't know, they both run together. I mean, he was diving over cars, near misses. Another one, he was diving off a helicopter, right? Okay, he dove off a building in the first one. He had tied the rubber hose around him.
Yeah.
That was so believable, and you could feel the pain. Even today, you could watch that. He had
him like walking with a glass.
No shoes
and,
on.
And like the blood trails.
But by the 4th or 5th one, he's diving off this helicopter from this collapsing building, landing on the helicopter, hanging onto it, going up. I think he's like ripping the bad guy, and I'm like, no. John McClane in Russia, of course.
You know what I really dug? Another good sequel is Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Those are great. Those are great. Yeah.
I always felt like they had more money to make in those, but they had
there was a third, but the third sucked.
Yeah, the third one was kind of bad too. But my point is, though, Hollywood, they usually will hump a movie all the way till it doesn't make any more money. So.
I'm still suspect on Top Gun 2. Like, I'll see it. I don't think it's going to be any good, but...
It just depends. I mean... I saw the trailer. You saw the trailer.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of good things with trailers.
Yeah, they can. Yeah,
That's what's so messed up.
I think
is they can make stuff look really good that's not good.
Well, it's kind of like when they did Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I walked out of that movie. I've only walked out two movies in my entire life. That was one I walked out. I literally was disgusted. I never looked at Harrison Ford and Robert Zemeckis and all those guys the same way ever again.
I remember a couple of years ago when Bryan Cranston made a remake, I guess you'd call it, to Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that trailer?
Yeah, it was.
The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah.
I watched it going, oh my god!
But I couldn't tell you what the movie was about.
The movie was terrible.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
Yeah.
The trailer, one of the better trailers I've ever seen. I was like, wow, like this is fantastic.
Well, the best is like there's movies where you don't even realize it's a sequel until like the M. Night Shyamalan,
yes.
Split, and what was the last one?
I know what you're saying.
The one where they all came together. Fucking awesome, right? You don't even know that they were sequels, right? J.J. Abrams with was it Cloverfield? And then that whatever it was like 313 Cloverfield Lane.
John Goodman.
Yeah, those like, and they were inadvertent. They were in
Love that movie.
the idea of like they're in the universe of fucking amazing, right? Yep. That's a movie where I wish there would have been either a prequel or like a direct prequel or a direct, because they alluded to so much, but then they never wrapped it all up, and then they kind of did that with the Cloverfield Lane, but. So those are ones where it's like you're not making a sequel to those.
It's beyond me.
It is a lot's beyond me, man.